And here we are back again. And oh my goodness, I just love what this guy does, Joe Starzyk. But anyway, where he works is an amazing place as well. What does ARC of Rensselaer County do? So, because you're raising some money to do something.
Yes,
right?
we're raising money
We're gonna
for
play with our food, huh?
Direct Support Professional Fund, which supports our workforce. We provide supports and services for people who have intellectual and developmental disabilities in a variety of settings.
Are you looking for workers?
We are looking for workers.
See, I mean, we've got a
Yes,
transition
yes.
in here, right?
Well, yep, send your resumes every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
at 7900 2nd Street.
Okay.
We have open interviews.
Okay, well I mean, it's tough to get employees. Well, I think you bear out what they were just saying, what Peter was just saying, that
Yes.
it's a tough market
It's a
for
tough market.
employers.
And unfortunately, the funding right now isn't there to support the salaries that we want.
Yeah.
So this event helps us. We started this. I became the executive director in June, and all our net profits from all our fundraising events goes to the Direct Support Professional Fund. And at the end of the year, we give a lump sum payment to all the direct support
Oh,
staff.
that's great. That's great. So part of this is your fundraiser, which is Play with Your Food. And of course, Joe has always graciously found 3 plays he can put together, one-act plays, to have a meal and enjoy a different play with each course, I guess.
Right, but I just want to clarify, because you've had all these other people on talking about how socially relevant what they're doing is. No social relevance in what we're doing. Nothing whatsoever.
The cause.
The cause. The show's no social relevance.
Really? You got 3 plays?
Yeah.
What are they?
Well, you've got a list there.
Well, I do
Ann.
have a list right here, and it's Play with Your Food. And there's 3 plays, and one is, I love the Infesting the Mob, but let's start with a blind date. And then we have Another Day in Paradise, and then Infesting the Mob? Is that right?
Yes.
So tell us about those plays, and why should people come and see them?
Because they're going to be funny.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a good meal and a good chance to learn a little bit more about what the ARC does.
Yeah.
And you're going to help support people who are underpaid currently and try to help them get closer to a legitimate living wage.
Yeah.
But as far as the shows themselves go, Blind Date's about a young man who has been set up on this blind date, and she's late, and he's wondering what's going on. And then he was expecting the woman of his dreams to walk in, and it turns out it's the grandma of his dreams. So he has to come to grips with this fact.
Talk about a twist there, a twist of fate.
Well, you'll have to see how that one turns out.
Yeah.
The second one is the true story of the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. We have an apple and we have an asp, or a snake.
Right. We do. We have God and we have a pair of individuals. So.
Okay.
And the
Wait a minute. Are they going to be fully clothed or what?
That you'll have to come. You'll have to buy a ticket to find that out. Come on, we've got to have a selling point.
We
here.
got a carrot here.
We told you
We got
no
a carrot.
redeeming value, so we've got to dangle that nudity out there to try and get people into the door. And then the third.
I couldn't let that go, you know that.
The third piece is there's a couple of mob guys sitting enjoying a nice espresso when a very sinister visitor shows up.
Oh, okay, but you're not going to tell us. That's another carrot.
That's another carrot.
You're hanging it there. Yeah.
Yep.
Have you seen the plays?
No.
You haven't, so it's going to be a surprise for you.
Yes.
too.
No, and actually every year there's usually at least one piece that has never been done anywhere else. So.
Okay. Yeah, how cool. And you know, when I mentioned about him being really awesome, because I've read some of his plays and stuff, they're performed all over, because you had some in Scotland, or, I mean, tell us where some of your plays have been.
Well, this week.
I mean, we need to give him a shout out,
yeah.
right?
That's right.
Tonight there's going to be a full-length play in Michigan. They're doing it tonight because Sunday they had to cancel because of high winds and they lost power.
Oh my gosh.
And then over the weekend, there's a piece that we actually did last year at Play with Your Food that's going to be in Dubai. And
Dubai?
Yes.
Oh
And
my gosh.
then,
I never thought it would go there. But,
London.
okay.
So
Yeah. Now, how do you get your plays out?
there are open calls sometimes and contests and other things.
Oh
And
my gosh. But Dubai, it's like, oh my gosh, that's really, you know, you kind of want subject matter. Well, I'm not even going to go there. But, you know, but we want to encourage people to check out this fundraiser. Before I go any further, I'm going to let you guys know, I'm going to say who's coming up, and we're coming back to talk about this. I just want to say what's coming up next week so that you're prepared for that. Classic Theater Guild, we're still doing theater. I tell you, this is quite a time. And they're doing Inspector General. Then we're having the Forever Young Trio performing right here on our stage. Friends of Recovery are going to be here. My Side with a Super Moon. And then we've got a new dance organization that is going to be talking about things too. So the Arc of Rensselaer County with developmental is what you're talking about. What kind of services do you offer? Are these like hands-on sort of, or
So
group homes? What are they?
It depends on the needs of the individual. We try to make it person-centered as much as we can. Primarily residential, day services, employment. That's a big focus of
Employment?
ours, is trying to find jobs for people.
Oh, okay.
and-
So you do
'cause everybody,
job
you know,
counseling.
right, job coaching and things like
Yeah.
that. Yep. And the direct support staff, they do amazing things and have amazing
Do
responsibilities.
you do like
placed
life
on them.
skills as well?
Life skills. We also, last few years, have drifted more in a lot of medical care, as we have, you know, individuals who need feeding tubes and
Oh, really?
diabetics,
So like
you know,
cerebral palsy
diets
and things
and
like
things
that,
like
and
that,
you know,
yeah.
like one of those dystrophy? No, not that. Well, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the different things. Are many of these birth defects, or
yes.
some are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have? So when you talk medical care, so you have a staff that
Yep.
is trained and
trains.
professional.
Professional, yep. They have a lot of responsibilities placed on them, and a lot of things. Times they're they're doing things in the community too to try to get the person out.
How many employees do you have?
We have we have 550 if we're fully staffed.
550.
We're down probably a good number of those right now.
So you need help.
Yep.
550, that's a big employer.
Yeah, it's one of the largest employers in Rensselaer
County.
County.
Is this a governmental, because it says of Rensselaer County.
We're a nonprofit.
You're
but we have-
nonprofit.
yeah,
I just wanted to make
we're-
sure that
yep,
people
yep,
didn't
right,
understood that it
right.
wasn't a
We're
governmental
county,
agency,
right,
yeah.
Right.
So you're there to support the people that are, maybe have some challenges.
Yeah, need some extra help.
Yeah, and need a little extra help. Do you have group homes? Is that what you were saying?
Oh yeah, residential programs.
Yeah.
And we have a variety. We have about 85 locations.
Okay.
And mostly in Rensselaer County.
85. I'm just
And
like
just
blown
single
away
it.
by
We're
this.
trying to
What
put,
a huge.
trying to put people in the community. I mean, the ARCs and a lot of other providers were the main person in getting the advancing people into the community from the institutions and things.
Right.
And now we're furthering that. As we,
Do you have sheltered workshops? I mean, workplaces?
We have a workplace. It's not a shelter workplace. Actually, individuals earn their paycheck for the hours they work.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's one where they can work at their own pace if they
Well,
want to.
well, actually,
works in that area.
we used to have a sheltered workshop, and then we've closed it down and reopened as an independent business.
Oh, okay.
And so the people that we hired back, a number of people with disabilities, and they're all making above minimum wage, and it's not so much everyone works at their own pace, but it's more we're putting our money where our mouth is in terms of we're not just asking employers to hire people with disabilities. We did that as well. And so they're actually making a lot more with us than they would have in the community.
Well, you've been watching Schenectady today in and around the Capital Region, and you've learned a little bit about the Arc of Rensselaer County, and they're doing a fabulous job, and I do applaud you for everything you do.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you both.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks for having us.